Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Inside the Box Gaming. Cue intro. No, I'm kidding, we don't have an intro. And it'll probably be a while until we do. But I figured, I might as well go back through Revolt because I never really got a good explanation of that done last time, so figure, maybe we should actually record something that has audio in it and just watch now, as it turns out that my mic's muted. Okay, it's not perfect. Everything is good. So let's go ahead and start a championship. And you can see I have more cards than last time, but I'm not really a huge fan of any of them, unfortunately, so we're gonna go lower end cards on a lower end championship. And in a championship, your goal is to get in the top 3 in all of the races, and if you don't, you get a certain number of tries. Hang on, let me turn the sound down a little bit. Even though there actually is no music that the game plays on its own. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, you get a certain number of tries, and then if you use all those tries and you still haven't made it in whatever race you're at, then you fail the championship. And then I don't really know what happens then. I remember failing one once and rage quitting, so perhaps not the best idea on what you could do. Just saying. Oh, that car is so dead. If I can find it again, catch up to it, because I just got flipped over pretty much, and it just goes and plows into me. And now that car hates me because it's the second time I firecrackered it. And here's time number 3. So anyway, this is RC racing on some track. Yeah, that's right. See how you like it. Anyway, it's pretty much some RC racing on various tracks that they set up. And you get some items to help you out in the shape of those weapons, which are the lightning bolts. Then you use your weapons by pressing space, and that's about it. Pretty fun game. Because of the weapons, you never really know who's going to win. There are some tendencies, but they're not huge. You will get larger ones, like certain cars will tend to come in the top 3. But it's nothing like one car wins every single race. I mean, if you're pretty good, then you can win most of them, but you certainly won't win them all. And that one is the electrocution, kind of. And it makes the any cars that go near you power down. So yeah. And then the fireworks, and of course there's one that kind of makes things go whoosh. Never got the actual name of that. Then there's like the all-out global weapon, which freezes everybody. Then there's a battery, which makes you go faster. Of course, there are the firecrackers. There are water balloons, which kind of make you lose traction. There are oil slicks, which stay around for a while and make you lose traction. And, wow, car's finished already. I'm not gonna make this. It has been about a week since I played this last, so that's right. Anyway, and then the battery makes you go fast, and then you can also drop a bowling ball behind you. Okay, so we didn't make that, so we have to use one of our tries to try again. And this car is generally my favorite. Certain personality types will probably prefer varying ones, but besides this and those beginning cars you get, Dr. Grudge is only the one that's really consistently good. Or no, that's not right, but Dr. Grudge is very consistently good no matter what the race is, so that might be. Oh, and then you can also lay a lightning strike. That's yeah, landmine, kind of. Basically, if they crash into it, they blow up. And then there's also the bomb power-up, which turns you into bomb, and your RC antenna becomes fuse, and then if your fuse runs out, you blow up. So here's a good demonstration of the bomb. And you can lose the bomb by touching other cars, but it's not that huge of a detriment, really. If you hit it good, it can actually kind of speed you up. If I'm doing this badly now, then I'm not going to do good in the museum, and that means I'll fail the championship. Oh, and last night, when Remy was recording some TF2, I realized that I majorly derped, and that yesterday was in fact Wednesday. So I'm gonna upload 2 videos today, and today being Thursday. And then I'll probably try and get another video up tomorrow, too. And then there'll be one on the weekend. And the water balloon's really not that good, so I usually just throw it away for another power-up. Because there are definitely some better ones than the same old boring ones they give you. So there's bowling ball. You couldn't see it, but there's the landmine one. Another bowling ball. And battery. Oh, and something to keep track of when you are on battery, your turning becomes a lot more sensitive, so generally it can kind of cause problems more than help, especially if you're not on a straight track. Sometimes in here, if it's close, you can pass a car, but it's hard to do that if it's not close. Okay, let's try again. Vulcan Turbo usually does pretty good, and this car does also. And I'm in first, with one firecracker left to defend that. No, you stay away from me. I have no interest in getting blown up. And it's best to stay on the bottom of that if you can, unless you're like avoiding hazards or something, because otherwise going on the top it becomes easier to like fall off and spin out. But sometimes there can definitely be hazards and other cars in there. So just a heads up on that. But as long as I maintain the lead, then I should win this one. Because if I can end the second lap in first, then usually other cars won't be able to take you down that much. First 2 laps really, and really all 3 if it is close, is anybody's game. There's usually 1 or 2 cars on this map that don't perform as well. One of them being Fat Slug. Let's see how that car likes it. There's the oil slick. But yeah, that Vulcan turbo car is really mean, generally, so it's like the bully of the RC cars. And it's actually not a horrible one, but it's not my favorite, really. Some of you guys might prefer driving it, but I'm not a huge fan. And the thing to do with oil is just kind of turn slowly and kind of wait for it to wear off. I shall win! So you can see that the races get pretty close there, because that one was just slightly over half a second apart, and I've come in with like 1/100th of a second of some of the other cars, so it can be really, really close. But it's a good game, and it's for free, and I'll make sure to put the download links in the description. If you have Windows 7 or Vista, you will want to install the patch too, because otherwise this game won't work. And I usually do good at this map, so first thing you want to do is go down here. That way you can avoid the mess of cars, and oil into this place sucks. This is a freezer, so ice. No, he did not do that. And it can make it driving in here kinda hard. Especially with the oil, because it's like a double oil effect and you lose almost all your traction. So it doesn't matter which one of these you go into, it's generally best to go to the closer one, just because it's a shorter distance. So that's what I just did, is generally how I'd advise going. That's generally what I'd advise you to do going through there. Just because you kind of glide, you don't lose too much speed, and it's more efficient than anything else the other cars do. I launched that guy on the second shelf. That was pretty BA right there. And normally I keep all the races to 3 laps, but you have no control over it in the championships, so this one is 4 laps because it is shorter, but it's not 6 like Botanical Gardens, which is only a little bit shorter, because this map has the freezer, so it adds a bit of challenge to it. Botanical Gardens is like 300, this is like 320 something. But because it is a shorter track, then they usually are, since it is shorter, there are more laps. And since there are no really challenging parts in Botanical Gardens, that's why they do it like they do there with 6 laps. But like you have to make sure you keep track of the laps in these, because if you forget for any reason, then you're gonna end up like stopping, and then if there's a car right behind you, you might have trouble catching up. Sprinter XL always has trouble with this one in the freezer because it's such a light car. So I wanted to advise that one here. Those top 4 cars you see are pretty good. Here I'd also advise Dr. Grudge, just because he has a bit more traction and weight. Even though Dr. Grudge isn't my all-out top choice. In cars it's actually not horrible. I just kinda like this one. I've gotten used to it over the time, and I need to work on that with some of the other cars, but really I think the best cars in the game were those beginning ones. Kind of all on the bottom shelf. I mean, they may not necessarily be the entirely best car, but for my current flavor and skill, they're the best. Oh, there's oil there. And this thing actually does not move. Oh, I guess it does. In some of the earlier versions of this game, apparently those did not move you at all, so you would be stuck wherever, or if you like spun out there on the one that goes up, you'd stay in the same spot, but it seemed to move me a little bit there. I wasn't entirely stopped moving at the time though. Oh, and this race is horrible to use battery on. If you absolutely must, then I would, but don't unless you absolutely have to on this race, because of all the tight turns, it can make it difficult to make all of them. And this, I advise going up that one just because it's shorter. But really it doesn't make too much of a difference between the two. And it doesn't make a difference here whether you go left or right. Stop laying oil everywhere in this map, people. It's not nice. God. So if you're not very good at avoiding obstacles in this map, or this, map, track is obviously going to be a problem for you, like it is for me. So the best I can advise is just kind of stay to the center, don't turn too sharply, don't turn too lightly either, of course. Yeah, third. I honestly thought I would have to retry this race. I think I got that car to spin at. I'm always surprised by how well Vulcan Turbo does on this map, just because it is a heavier car, and it doesn't handle quite as well. I mean, it's actually got a considerable amount of speed for its size, but I never thought it handled well, but got third there. So as long as I place in the Botanical Gardens, which I should because that's also one of my more favorite maps, as long as I place in the Botanical Gardens, then I should win this, because 2 first places are really hard to overcome, even if you do get third on 1 or 2. This will average me out to second every time, so they'll have to have a better average than second. So I'm 2 points ahead of Vulcan Turbo, so that means I need first or second in the next race, or Vulcan Turbo needs to really suck in order for me to win. Because it's just between us now, because even if Dustmite does get first, that's only 10 points, and that'll put them at 20. So it's between me and Vulcan Turbo at the Botanical Gardens. And oh, it's only 5 laps here. That makes a little bit more sense. Sometimes I think Toys in the Hood should only be 2 laps just because of how long it is. It's like 750 almost. It's like 742 or 743, I think. On the gravel will lose your traction too. Should have placed that up here. That one can be real annoying. Up here. Oh, and something to keep in mind for spinning out is that if you're going faster, I just got like the whoosh one twice and electrocuted afterwards. That was annoying. Oh, and it sucks when you like get electrocuted while you're flipped over, because then you can't get back up easily. And but the physics in this game are incredibly real. So if you're looking for a game that's got some good physics, I'd go with this one. It is pretty easy to spin out though, so just be aware of that. I think it might be a little bit too easy, but I think generally it follows the game of physics on spinning out more than any other game really has. I mean, it's like almost flawless. But don't turn your wheels in the air, because that'll make you spin out very easily. See how that guy likes it. Ah, he gave me the bomb. He's like really far behind. Okay, well, at least we're almost there. Launch the firework at the end, just nudge the car a little bit, that's sad. But we have this, because we'll get 6, they'll get 4, I think. So we'll be at 30 and they'll be at 26, so we should win. Yeah, 6 and 4. 30, 26, 18, 12, 10. And, if you can get a handle for Sprinter XL, it can actually be a pretty good car. But you can see it, and Fat Slug and Colonel Moss really don't stand much of a chance in these. Anyway though, now you can see my little award stands. There's the 3rd place Dr. Grudge, the 2nd place Vulcan Turbo, and the 1st place RC Bandit, or BD9538 as I put my name in. Okay, so that really didn't do much. You can see my progress here. I'm having trouble beating the time challenge on Museum 2. So once I can get that, then it'll either open up the time challenge in the silver worlds or the reverse challenge in the bronze worlds, and then winning championships just unlocks the next championship pretty much up until the point of gold, which it didn't do that anymore when it went to platinum. I'm not sure if I actually ended up winning the gold one though. I'm pretty sure I did not. So let's go Silver Cup. I know I won that one. Oh, and then just a heads up on the later championships, it will put you against cars that you have unlocked, which are probably better than the ones you currently have. So if you're a good racer, it doesn't make much of a difference, but if you can't overcome that difference, then you're going to have problems. I'm glad I got that power up when I did, because because it stopped people from advancing on me. Anyway, if you're wondering what just happened, someone got the global zap thing, so everybody in the map except for them got stopped. Now I don't know which racer it was because, well, I didn't see it, but... Oh, and always be suspicious of power-ups that come out behind cars. And if you're going to lay power-ups, like, do it on the inside of turns or in narrow choke spaces. Just because those are areas where everybody has to go. So they're forced there, and then of course they take the damage from the thing. This is a really short map, so that's why there's 6 laps on it. It's like Botanical Garden and Market 2, kind of. Yeah. It's that length. So I just got one of the landmine ones, so then you put it there and you can guarantee that the next car through there will flip over, and then if that car ends up flipping over, then it might hold up other cars, so it's always good to hit the choke points and not kind of strategize and just hope for one car to get there, because there's only skill and luck in this game. No really long-term strategy should be involved in your racing, because you'll just be screwing yourself over. On the final lap, just have to stay where I am, or do better preferably. How come their fireworks always work and mine don't? It's not fair. Whatever, that car spun out, so we're good.